HTB family, how's it going? Welcome to Hold the Ball. Hope you guys are well. Thanks again for tuning in. Something's happening this Sunday, isn't it? That's right, we all know what's happening. It's the NRL Grand Final, and I guess I'm here to give you guys my own personal opinion on it. It's been a while, but I'm saying that without further ado, hit that intro. It's the ending, it's the conclusion, it's the finale. It's quite literally what we as fans hope our teams can do every year, right? And that get into a grand final, and I guess more importantly than that, win one. Penrith Panthers versus the Eels, right? It's the battle of the West, I suppose, with a silent B. It's basically a game of two teams from Sydney who basically have a few grudges, I think, this year anyway. The reality is, Penrith Panthers have been a very dominant team in the last 2-3 years, to be fair with you. They've just been there, right? The likes of Nathan Cleary, Jerome Luai taking charge, Gikau Goroisau, right? James Fisher-Harris, Dylan Edwards, Brian To'o, the list goes on. Whereas with the Parramatta Eels, they've been a bit up and down, right, the last couple of seasons, but for somehow, some way, they've managed to actually grab this opportunity, I suppose, and hold on to it. The likes of Bolo, the likes of Sean Lane, right, Mitch Moses, Regan Campbell-Gillard, Ben Essini, right, Gutherson. There's just been a whole heap of players for both teams, a plethora of players who, in my opinion anyway, have staked their claim, and have obviously done everything they can to get into this position. The last time the Penrith Panthers won a premiership, that was 2021. The last time the Eels won a premiership, that was in 1986. A lot of things have happened between 1986 and right now. A lot of things have happened. But now they get their chance to hopefully somehow, some way redeem themselves and get back to our premiership glory. There's no I suppose, no other way to sort of say this really about the Penrith Panthers. They've been dominant. They look strong. They're everything you want a team to be, right from their fullback right to their lock-in Isaiah Yeo, right? The team itself is structurally balanced, There's just no give in this team. As for the Parramatta Eels, a bit unorthodox their approach, their season thus far, but again, a gritty team nonetheless, right? From Gutherson, right down to, I suppose, Regan Campbell-Gillard, Sean Lane, Isaiah Papali'i. Just a lot of players who I think have just really fought hard over the years for the Eels, right? Now, as these two teams meet, my apologies, as a viewer here, regardless if you support them or not, you're really going to be seeing, I think anyway, in my opinion, what I suppose Penrith Panthers can do. The reality is, I think they come in as favourites and well deserved, but I almost feel like at the same time as well that out of any team the Penrith Panthers wanted to play the least, I think it was actually the Parramatta Eels. If you guys don't know already, the stats so far this season tell a story that the Eels have actually won 2, right, of their 3 previous encounters. Obviously, Panthers are winning the finals one, and we get it. Obviously, regular season wins don't really mean much, particularly if you're in the finals. The reality is, it is what it is, right? But stats don't lie, and you suppose, you sort of take that into consideration, I think, anyway. Now, again, as I said, we head into this game here. You look at the Penrith Panthers, they're the favourites to win. Their squad says the very same thing. You look at the Parramatta Eels, they come in as the underdogs, and I think it suits them quite fine. The reality is, this game here is going to be a smash and bash game. I don't think there's going to be much room to give. I think it's going to be a typical slugfest. I would not even be surprised if this honestly finished with one team winning by a point or 2. I genuinely believe that. Obviously, the grand final of any code is the ultimate the ultimate goodbye, the ultimate finale, and you can only hope that these two teams are very prepped and obviously well trained for this. Right, this is the reality. There's a lot on stake here for both sides. Right, like I said, Parramatta Eels, 1986 was the last time they won a premiership. I don't think any player that's playing the Eels team now was even alive, right, when they won a premiership. I may be wrong, quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure, right? And you sort of look at the likes of Mitch Moses, right? The storyline of obviously, playing in Townsville the day his first child was born, right? The amount of heart he has for the game, the likes of Gutherson as well. You've even got the likes of Nathan Brown returning, right? Number 14 for the Eels. But then you look at the Penrith Panthers and you've got the likes of Nathan Cleary solidifying. To be fair with you, the way he's going, now whether you like him or you don't, Nathan Cleary is he's such a young player, right? And his resume is already better than a lot of players. And to be fair with you, if he keeps this going, to be fair with you, I think he's well and truly due for a GOAT conversation. I say that respectfully to the other people we call GOATs. My own personal GOAT, if you don't know, is Jonathan Thurston. He's my GOAT. That's it. There's no debate and ifs or buts. But I'm willing to hear what Nathan Cleary has to say, especially if he keeps winning. All right. This season, I think, for Nathan Cleary has been superb. For the Penrith Panthers, has been superb. They've been defensively sound. There's just been no chink in their armour. But there's just something about Parramatta Eels. There's just something about them being in this finals here. It doesn't make sense, but yet they're here, right? Sort of like rebels, with a cause, I suppose, this time, but just sort of going against the grain, and I suppose that's probably the best way to describe or surmise their journey this far and to get into the season. They weren't the, and again, I don't mean this disrespectfully, all right, but they weren't like the pretty, well-suited individual, were they, heading into the season. A few people predicted a few ups and downs. Some people even had them in the bottom 8, whereas everyone looked at the Penrith Panthers as the go-to, right? Mr. Clever, he's got the looks, the this, the that, the carry-on, and so on, and rightly so, because, hey, they work for it, and, hey, they deserve it, and they've got the results to show for it. But here you go. You've got the pristine, the prestige, versus the scruffy, but yet the I suppose the grit, scruffy and the grit in the Parramatta Eels. This truly is the last dance for one of these teams. I don't know what the future holds, particularly with the 17th team added. But it seems like to me, I'll say this though, it just seems like to me the Panthers still have a few more years of dominance. Whereas for me with the Eels, I feel this is it. This truly is, and I could be wrong, but I just feel like this truly is possibly their last dance. And as I say that, I suppose the number of days until the grand final is really sort of dawning on me, right? A few players are going to be leaving for both teams. Oh, rugby league, eh? Rugby league. Anyway, a lot of legacies are going to be on the line here, I think. A lot of stories, a lot of legends to be told. And here we go, it's the last dance. As my prediction, well, I don't know. You might have to stay tuned for that one. Yeah, I just thought I'll tell you guys and give you guys a story. Anyway, you guys take it easy. If you're a Penrith fan, if you're an Eels fan, if you want your team to win, what they have to do is literally, I think, one of the most important things in rugby league. Hold the ball. No worries. Take it easy. See you guys next time. Go the Warriors. No jokes. Take it easy.